NASA's first samples of an asteroid fetched from deep space have parachuted into the Utah desert to cap a 7-year journey. During a flyby of Earth, the Osiris-Rex spacecraft released the sample capsule, which then landed 4 hours later on a remote expanse of military land. NASA camera views showed the charred capsule upside down on the sand, with its parachute disconnected and strewn nearby, as the helicopter-borne recovery team moved in. Thankfully, the capsule was intact, keeping its 4.5 billion-year-old samples free of contamination. Within 2 hours of touchdown, the capsule had been transported to a temporary clean room at the Defense Department's Utah Test and Training Range. Scientists estimate the capsule holds at least a cupful of rubble from the carbon-rich asteroid Bennu, but won't know for sure until the container is opened. Some spilled and floated away when the spacecraft scooped up too much material, which jammed the container's lid during collection 3 years ago. This was NASA's third sample return from a deep space mission. In 2004, the Genesis spacecraft dropped off specimens of solar wind, but the samples were compromised when the parachute failed and the capsule crashed to the ground. 2 years later, the Stardust spacecraft successfully delivered dust from a comet. Japan, the only other country to bring back samples from deep space, gathered about a teaspoonful of material during a pair of asteroid missions. Osiris-Rex, the mothership, was launched in 2016 and arrived at Bennu 2 years later. Using a long stick vacuum, it grabbed rubble from the surface of the asteroid in 2020. By the time it returned, the spacecraft had logged 6.2 billion kilometers. It's NASA's largest sample return since the Apollo moon landings more than half a century ago. With these asteroid samples, we'll edge closer to understanding the early chemical composition of the solar system, the formation of water, and the origin of molecules on which life is based. The samples will be analyzed in a new lab at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. The building already houses the hundreds of kilograms of moon rocks gathered by the Apollo astronauts. The opening of the container in Houston will be a moment of truth, given the uncertainty over the amount inside. Engineers estimate the container holds 250 grams of material from Bennu plus or minus 100 grams. Even at the low end, it will surpass the minimum requirement of the mission. NASA plans a public show and tell in October. Currently orbiting the Sun 81 million kilometers from Earth, Bennu is about half a kilometer across and shaped like a spinning top. It's believed to be the broken fragment of a much larger asteroid. During a 2-year survey, Osiris-Rex found Bennu to be a chunky rubble pile with a surface strewn with boulders and craters. The surface was so loose that the spacecraft vacuum arms sank in about half a meter, sucking up more material than anticipated. Observations made during the survey will come in handy late next century. Bennu is expected to come uncomfortably close to Earth in 2182, possibly close enough to hit. The data gleaned by Osiris-Rex will help with any asteroid deflection effort. Although its main mission has been accomplished, Osiris-Rex is still fully functional and already embarked on its next adventure. It's in pursuit of another asteroid, Apophis, which it will reach in 2029.